Black Sabbath, The Mob Rules. You know, this is a cool song. And it's a cool song, you know, because he does a whammy bar. And I found that surprising because I was a Sabbath fan before I ever got my first guitar. And so I say that because maybe I was listening to the song and I just kind of remembered it as being, like no whammy bar. You know, it's not like Iommi does harmonic dives or something like that. So it just never stood out. So deciding to learn this song was an eye-opener. I'm like, geez, he's using a tremolo. I never paid attention before. So that was interesting. The other interesting thing about this song is it's predominantly on his first two fingers. He's not really skipping a fret, doing much power chord structure. I mean, there is a couple power chords in the song, but for the most part, he's using adjacent fretting and he's using two fingers. And as you work through it, that'll stand out to you. You'll be like, this is kind of unique. A tip I want to give you, actually I think there's about two tips, is on the tremolo work. I don't tend to do a whole lot of tremolo work unless I have to, and the cover uses a tremolo. Then I'm like, okay, I'll try to do what the cover's doing. And usually, the few times that I use my tremolo bar, I usually let it kind of hang loose so it's out of the way. And I found that if it wasn't snug and fully threaded in, his tremolo work on this song was so subtle and precise, if that's the correct word, is because he was just barely changing the pitch, that I wasn't able to have a loose tremolo bar because it wasn't reactive enough. So I guess subtle and precise would be kind of the key to what he was doing on there. So what I had to do with my tremolo bar is make sure it was tight, make sure there was no slop in there. Like I played briefly like an Eddie Van Halen identical knockoff guitar that my buddy let me mess with once, and he had a whole lot of slop in there, if I remember correctly. But that was his playing style. But on this Tony Iommi song, it's precise. He's just barely hitting it, giving a little bit of waver. You almost want to think it's just a fret hand vibrato, but it's tremolo bar. And don't have any slop in your bar. Have it tight, and you're gonna need that precision for it. But you're not gonna be taking much of a swing on the bar to duplicate what he's doing. The other thing that stood out on this song, and I think it's kind of mindset, is I really did not enjoy the work I had to put into cleaning up my riffs, because I was sloppy, and I was sloppy on a lot of parts. And I guess psychologically, if you're just dealing with two finger melody structures and riff structures, you want it to be easy. And the redundancy of practicing something that's only kind of a two-finger song, that took some grit and determination to get through to do. So I share that with you. In if your mind is kind of like mine, suck it up. I didn't enjoy it either. And yes, it's only two-finger riffs for the most part, but they take some work, especially if you're going to play it clean. And this is a real easy song to not play clean, because it's kind of a rocker, but in your mind you're like, well, it's Sabbath, it's, I don't know, X amount of years old, and it's just two fingers. I shouldn't have to work on it, but you know what, if you don't, it's going to be obvious. Solo. So I guess, frankly, I was a bit discouraged with this solo. It was kind of long, and it was unique enough where I had to look up a music theory term, because I'm not a big music theory fan, or let's not say fan, let's just say I don't have much music theory background. And the term was phrasing. So we can learn this term together if you don't already know it. Musical phrasing is the method by which a musician shapes a sequence of notes in a passage of music to allow for expression. So the phrasing on his solo, I couldn't follow it. It was just, yeah, he was kind of, the flow was just like, I don't follow this flow. And that was something that kind of discouraged me from sitting down and really kind of working on it. So I gave myself a little consolation prize, and I worked a little bit on the outro kind of solo. And so that'll be tabbed on here on the third sheet. And you'll notice that, again, it's primarily two fingers. I mean, at one point he does work in another finger, and he does skip over a fret, but for the most part, the notes are like side by side. Just like the song, it's a two-finger solo, like it's a two-finger riff. It's just unique. Hope you enjoy it, and hopefully the tabs kind of click for you, because I noticed a lot of the sources out there. When I started on this song, I was thinking to myself, everyone's done this song, and there's lots of tabs out there, but it seemed like a lot of the nuances and the treatments that get done in the notes weren't being shown in the tabs. So hopefully I got them right. Hopefully you enjoy it. And if you're like me and you're sloppy and you're not enjoying the process, know that I didn't enjoy the process either. I wanted it to be quick. But stick with it. Play it clean. Because if you're not going to play it clean, I don't even know if you should waste your time learning the riffs. You're just kind of going through the motions. So work on it. Play it as clean as you can and enjoy it. Have a great day.